Hello, in this video I will show you how to add caves to your map in Unturned map editor. So first let's open the map. I suppose you already have a map that you want to add a cave to with some terrain. I do. So the next thing that you want to do after loading up the map is to find a place where you want to make a cave. In my case, I want to make a cave here. And the first thing that I recommend before making a cave is to disable the visibility of all these navigations and zombie spawns and other things. So in order to do that, go to the level tab, visibility, and uncheck all of these options. Okay, and then just switch back to terrain. Okay, so to make a cave, we need to first make a hole in this, in the ground, right? So to do that, you need to go to Materials in the Terrain tab. And at the bottom you will see, at the left side, at the bottom you will see multiple options. And the last option should be the mode that you have enabled. So there are, I think, 4 modes. When you click on it, it should change the mode. And what you want to do is find the cat mode, like this. So once you have this cat mode enabled, you can see I have this brush. I can make it bigger or smaller. I recommend making it pretty small, like 2 is the size of 2. This is a brush radius. The size of 2 is pretty good, but it could be even just 1.5. It's also good enough. Okay, so this is what you use to make a hole in the terrain. So let's make a hole in this by simply clicking, and you can see, and it kind of makes a hole, but you can't really make this hole very precise. Like, this is like a kind of a, you can see this is not the same shape as I make here. It's pretty weird. Oh, when you make a mistake, you can simply just press Ctrl-Z. Right, so this is a hole that we have, and we can't really make it any better if we try to like restore it. You can see again, I press again, this is the same thing. So don't waste your time with that. It's good what it is. We're just gonna use the object to cover this and make the right shape that you want the entrance to be. Yeah, so this is the first step. We have a hole. Perhaps we could make it even bigger in this case. Or yeah, so maybe actually, how do we repair the hole? We have to hold Shift on our keyboard and press where you want to remove the hole. Okay, so this is my entrance. And I already have a hole, so the player could jump in here, but he's gonna fall into the water under the map. So it's kind of like glitching. And we don't want that. So to make an actual cave, we need to add objects. So go to the Level tab and select Objects. Now here, for making the caves, the best object is probably the boulder. So you can search for it, boulder, press enter. There's many boulders from many maps. The peaks and Russia, I think the peaks is probably Germany, and Russia boulder is obviously Russia, from Russian map. But there's PI boulders as well. So if you select the PI boulder, for example, and make sure you don't have any object selected, just hover your mouse somewhere on the map where you want to place it and press E on your keyboard. And as you can see, it created the boulder. it placed the boulder in that position. But actually I don't like this boulder. I'm gonna use some other boulder, so let's delete it by pressing delete on your keyboard. And let's use some Russia boulder maybe. So let's try the number 3. So if we press E, okay, well this one is pretty big, but we can scale it, and this will be perfect for our cave floor. So let's move it back, try to position it properly, and actually maybe let's scale it first, so let's make it a bit smaller. Or should we, actually? So actually let's use all of it. We could make it smaller using the scale option here. Let's say we want to scale it, we would just use this here. If we don't want to change the shape of the object that we're scaling, just click your mouse here inside of the circle instead of pressing the lines like this, because this is like scaling only in one direction. You can Control Z. But if you want to scale all of this equally from all sides, then you just use the circle. Okay, so I'm gonna scale it down like this and then move it back in the right position. So let's see. Let's move it a little closer to the hole. Okay. Like this maybe. So don't worry about that it's visible like this here, which doesn't look very good, because we can cover it with other boulders, which we're gonna do now. So let's look for some smaller boulder. Let's try number 6. What is it? Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we can now cover it with this. Maybe it's not so good. Let's look for another one. Let's delete this one. What about number 5? Oh, I didn't delete it. Select it, delete. Let's try number 5. Okay, this one we probably gonna use for the roof, but not yet. What about number 4? Okay, this is cool. So I'm gonna put one here and another one here. Like this, so there's more space for entrance. So I can walk in here. And actually, as you can see, there's a hole here. So we have to move the floor a bit closer to here. Okay, and now again we have this problem. So we can move it up a little. Like this. And we don't mind the step right now, because we don't have to worry about it. We're gonna come up with something to make it look better later. Okay, so now let's make the walls inside of the... Or sorry, actually we have to also cover this, because this won't look good. But maybe let's start with the walls. Well, there's many techniques, and I'm not very experienced with this, to be honest. With making with Unturned map editor. So that's why it takes me so long. So I'm gonna use the boulder. Let's try number 7. Is it good for walls? Yeah, it's pretty good. So let's use it. So we need to make walls. Just copy it a few times. Okay, now we need to rotate it by 90 degrees. So we're just gonna copy. Oh, copy it and paste it. Now I'm gonna rotate it by 90 degrees. So I'm gonna set the snap rotation to 90. I'm gonna hold Control, but before that I'm gonna select rotate. Okay. And now, while holding Control on your keyboard, click on the green line to rotate it. Okay. Let's make another one. And we don't need another one. We need another one to be on the left side. So we have to rotate it again using the control. Right, this. Oh, I didn't copy, I just used the one I have selected. So let's copy this one again, paste it, put it here. Okay. Now let's copy this one, paste. More or less like this. Let's get another one. So actually we need to make them closer so they can't escape. Let's make another one. Okay, like this. And there's a problem with this is being that it's flashing like this, so you want to make some edges so it's not flashing. It's annoying, doesn't look good. Let's see if there's any other ones. Probably this ones. We should move a little bit. Okay. This is cool. So now I guess we want to make it higher, like a taller cave. So we can just select all of these walls and now select the scale option. Oh, by the way, when I'm selecting it, I hold Shift on my keyboard so I can select all of them. Okay, and then use the scale option, and we're only gonna scale it upwards like this, so we can have a taller cave with much more space, maybe even taller than that. Yeah, like this should be fine. Okay, so now we have this problem with the entrance, that it's not looking great, but maybe let's start with the roof. So I found this boulder, I think it was number 6, which seems perfect for the roof. So I'm just gonna place it here. No, it's not this one, but actually we could use this one. Why not? It's looking good. So let's use this, like 2 of these. And make sure we cover all holes. Because if there's holes, people can escape from your cave and then just glitch, build a base or anything like this that you don't want. Okay, so let's make a few of these. 3. It's pretty cool. Okay, and the only problem now is that this entrance, like when you're entering, there's like nothing here, so they could escape, jump on here, jump here, and escape the cave again. So we need to fix that. So I think I'm gonna use more of this. So I'm just copy this one. Move it a bit like this. Let's see if it covers. Okay, it covers the side, doesn't cover the top, but for the top we can just use this 3. So let's do the same thing on the right side. The cave, let's move it back inside the cave. Oh, by the way, you can see this. You also want to cover these edges. Okay, like this, and now we still have this edge we're gonna have to fix, but maybe we're gonna use a different stone. So we still have a roof. So to fix it, I'm gonna select all of these 3 and just scale it this way. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, it could be even more. This will look cool. Yeah. And there's a problem that this is visible, so let's scale it like this maybe. Oh, it will be very thick now, but there's less space, but at least it will cover a little bit more. Okay, like this. perfect. Okay, so we've made a cave. It was very long. I'm sorry. But we have some simple cave. There is no holes. There should be no holes, so the player should not escape, and he can enter it. Looks pretty cool, I think. But one more thing that you may want to do with the caves is to have a lightning disabled in this cave, so they actually need a flashlight or something to see inside of this cave. So to do that, you just want to go to, so once you have the level selected, go to volumes. And the first option should be Ambience. So select this option in the volumes. Okay. And now let's place it using the E on your keyboard. So find a place for it. Here, for example. And you can see it's very small by default. We're gonna have to, oh, my UI scale is too big, so I'm gonna have to scale down. Like this. Okay. And I'm gonna resize it using the scale tool. So it's gonna cover most, but should be all of my cave? I think no. Let's try like this. Maybe just a bit wider and taller. Even taller. Let's make sure it doesn't include anything outside. Seems okay now. Maybe just a little wider. Okay. Okay, so this is the ambience box. So actually this is important because this is where this will affect players. So when players enter this cube, or it's rectangular, whatever. So when player enters the cave and enters this yellow box, which we just made, which is an ambience volume. Now we want to disable lightning here. You can see on the left side, there's a no lightning option that you can check. So I'm gonna check it. And I guess that's all I'm gonna need to do. And now when somebody enters this cave, there should be no lightning. So let's check it out. So let's save everything. I'm gonna hit save and exit the map editor. Let's go in single player, MISC, okay. Tutorial map in my case. Okay, you can see the cave is there. Let's see if it's cool or not. It's pretty big, it's bigger than I thought. Now we have to climb here. Oh no. Let's give ourselves some experience so we can jump in there. Okay, we're in. As you can see, we have a cave. The lightning disappears, but when we leave the cave, it's back to normal. As you can see, what's the ID for the night vision? Okay, so we're wearing the night vision right now. You can see there, you should always check your cave if it doesn't have any holes. You can see mine doesn't, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, of course it could have some improvements, but this is just a demonstration video, a tutorial. One more thing worth mentioning is that let's go back to the map editor. Let's edit our map again. If you look into volumes, there should be something called an underground whitelist. So this is important. If you enable, because there's an option. Let me open the Unturned documentation now. Or actually, let's search for Unturned underground whitelist. Okay, let's look into this one. So as you can see, the underground whitelist volume is to make sure that people don't glitch under your map. You can use underground whitelist volumes. This will teleport players under the map outside of any whitelist volume to the surface. So basically, if you decided to enable the underground whitelist in your map, which you can enable in the config.json, what this will do is that anybody under the ground, so for example in this cave, will be teleported outside of it, unless there is this underground whitelist volume in your cave. So this volume is similar to the Ambience volume. You just place it like this. You can scale it up. So you should probably just make it the same size as your, or even bigger. It can be bigger. It can include more, like this, whatever. Okay, maybe this is too big, but you get the idea. So now, if you have this, only if you have enabled the use underground whitelist in the config.json file, only then it is necessary to put those underground whitelist volumes in your caves, or actually to cover your cave, so the players won't be teleported outside of your cave. But by default, this underground whitelist is disabled. So if you have not enabled it in config.json, then you don't have to worry about it. But in the future, if you decided to enable this underground whitelist to prevent the glitchers from building underground bases, then you must also add all the underground whitelist to all of the caves that you have on your map, or other underground locations, such as bunkers. Like for example, the bunker on the Almond Island on PI must also have an underground whitelist. Yeah, I will leave a link to this page in the description so you can read more about it. But overall, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching and good luck with your map. See ya.